Chinese billionaires are seeing food as their new investment frontier, and China's food movement has gone beyond indulgence for the rich. Joining me to discuss this is Peggy Liu, who is a chairwoman for JUCCCE, which is a nonprofit organization for sustainable consumption. So Peggy, can you tell us what's going on in China now? Have people's attitude towards food quality changed?
Well, I think everybody knows that our attitudes towards food safety is probably one of the top priorities for daily living in China. I mean, everywhere you turn in the news, there's some sort of new incident about how can we possibly trust our food supply. And so what's interesting, though, as a consumer, as somebody who lives in Shanghai, I benefit because I see this huge crop of new investors coming in, new entrepreneurs to provide safe food options on the ground, not just for the wealthy, but I think starting for the middle class, upper middle class, and now starting to be more pervasive for the everyday, ordinary Chinese person.
Right. So can you tell me what are the new options available for consumers now? So there was a period when consumers would go for KFC because they think that although it may not be healthy, it's actually safer compared to some local restaurants.
I think some people actually think it's healthier to go to some of the multinational companies like KFC or McDonald's because they think that the source of the food is safer, and therefore safer must be healthier. So I have my children who are 9 and 11 sometimes go on play dates where the mothers, native Chinese mothers, will mistakenly take their kids only to McDonald's for food, and not as a treat, but as something that they think is going to make them healthier. And I think that this is one of the myths that we have to try and break in China.
Right. And now you do see more salad places and more organic places springing up in China. So people's attitudes for food, they're getting more sophisticated about food now.
Oh, well, I think that we have a long way to go to change the attitudes. I think awareness about things like obesity rising in China, diabetes rising in China. For example, there was a study that just came out saying 50% of all Chinese are pre-diabetic. 12% of Chinese are actually, already have type 1 diabetes. So this is a big problem because our changing diets, as our personal disposable incomes have increased, are creating bad eating habits. So one of the things that JUCCCE, for example, is doing is trying to go into the primary school level and teach kids about how to eat in a way that's good for them and good for the planet. Vegetarian restaurants are becoming much more sophisticated. If you look at JUCCCE, that's, I think, probably the best vegetarian restaurant in the world, not just in Shanghai. So I think that what we're going to see in the next 5 years is organic not just becoming this word that we don't trust in China, but something that may be more on the tip of everybody's tongues and more options for the everyday Chinese person.
Great. Sounds like a great growth opportunity. Thank you very much, Peggy. For more, please read my People's Money column. This is Wei Gu for the Wall Street Journal.